Set against the backdrop of the Mediterranean Sea, Oceanic Verses is about people who flee and people who stay, people who sail to escape and people who sail to arrive. Rather than a linear narrative, Oceanic Verses follows the arcs of four characters. A sailor searches for lost songs, a scholar investigating immigration loses a suitcase filled with research, a peasant seeks a better life for her future children, and a soldier crawls over land to bury what he loves. What unites these four characters is their yearning to uncover a fading past in southern Italy, a land emblematic of today's global struggle with issues of borders and immigration. And I was very interested in getting to know the side of my roots, which were really from Italy. So at a residency in southern Italy, I began to discover the south, Lecce in particular. It's the Puglia region of Italy. And as I began to discover the land, I began to realize that it was actually very emblematic of a fading civilization, a place that is very taut with issues surrounding immigration, with borders, with all the things that really define me and define my identity.
Not so frequently, I think, in life, you get to meet people who help you meet yourself. And Oceanic Verses is one of those projects that's really helped me meet myself. Everything I know how to do, I get to do in that piece.
One of the things that we created was the character that Helga Davis plays, who is actually an archaeologist, which makes so much sense for this piece because she's always excavating, she's always going through the dust and trying to find these remnants, these amulets, these pieces, these objects that connect her to the past and trying to understand the past. So she's one of our main through lines through this piece is what that archaeologist is trying to find.
We're all learning more about ourselves and about each other, about how we are the same, even in as much as we are different. And then we have this incredible libretto that ties everything together, that brings the word to the music and the music to the word. It's all there.
All of the films have been done on location, mostly in Puglia, Italy, which is in the boot heel, around the city of Lecce and many of the other towns up and down the Adriatic and Ionian coast. We've also shot some in New York and a little bit in Morocco as well. And the films really come out of this collaboration between me and the players, with Paola ever present in the mix. We've gone out into the field and done, with the script, done a series of improvisations, often through dance or gesture or movement. And through these films, we are going to show the geographic landscape and also the psychological landscape, the exterior and inner worlds that we can't show on stage.
I think in everybody's life there are lost countries and lost lands. In a way, especially I think in this country, the idea of once upon a time there was a Garden of Eden and it's gone. This piece is so much about lands that are lost, lives that are lost, and yet the joy, and the beauty of them. So despite the sort of the digging in dust that this piece will do, what it presents is what was once alive. And I think the joy and the beauty of that for everyone who has that lost country and that lost garden is what Oceanic Verses is all about.
So one of the things that attracted me to creating Oceanic Verses was in fact that I have grown up on different borders, going from northern Italy to northern Mexico. And the sense of the cultures colliding at borders, the constant redefining of borders and of one's identity when you have feet in two cultures is something that definitely drives my art and definitely interests me. And so while Oceanic Verses began as a discovery of what part of me was Italian that resonated, it ultimately became a story that was much larger.
Of an aged people in the eve of fading civilizations, I was born of kindred that have greatly expiated and have grace.